As a urologist and men's health specialist with over 2 decades of experience, I've seen countless seniors face preventable health declines simply because they overlooked one critical aspect of their well-being: sexual health. This isn't about locker room bravado or moral debates, it's about the clinically proven biological functions that sustain your vitality as you age. Ignoring sexual health after 60 can actively harm your body, and is a topic too often absent from routine checkups. My name is Dr. Catherine Rocker, and I've spent 25 years helping aging men restore energy, protect their prostate, and rediscover intimacy not just with partners, but with themselves. Through reviewing thousands of cases, I've seen how abandoning a natural practice like masturbation can trigger a cascade of physical and mental consequences. This simple, private act regulates testosterone, reduces stress hormones, maintains sexual function, and preserves mental clarity. When it stops, the body pays a silent but measurable toll. Prostate circulation slows, stress hormones build, and brain-derived neurotrophic factors decline. You might notice unexplained fatigue, slower recovery from illness, or a creeping sense of disconnection. These aren't random, they're tied to your physiology. Let me share a story that reshaped my perspective early in my career. Harold, an 82-year-old retired contractor, once built homes across 3 counties with his bare hands. When he came to my clinic, he was a shadow of that man, shuffling instead of striding, unable to open a jar of peanut butter. In just 2 years after losing his wife and ceasing all sexual activity, he'd lost 12 pounds of lean muscle mass without changing his diet. His case wasn't unique. I later met Margaret, a 76-year-old widow struggling to carry groceries. Her grip strength had plummeted by 40% in 18 months, and tests revealed accelerated sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss far beyond what was expected. Her hormone levels were suppressed, and she hadn't engaged in any form of intimacy, solo or otherwise, since her husband's passing. These stories aren't anomalies, they reflect a pattern backed by science. Research confirms that sexual activity, including masturbation, triggers the release of anabolic hormones like testosterone and growth hormone, which are essential for preserving muscle tissue and maintaining mobility. As you age, testosterone naturally declines, but stopping sexual activity accelerates this drop, hastening muscle loss and frailty. By age 80, nearly half of adults show signs of sarcopenia, increasing risks of falls, fractures, and permanent mobility issues. A vicious cycle emerges: less muscle leads to less movement, and less movement leads to more muscle loss. Studies in geriatric journals show that older men who remain sexually active maintain stronger muscles, healthier hormone levels, and better mobility than those who don't. One large-scale analysis found a strong correlation between sexual function and hand grip strength in men over 65. Another showed that regular sexual activity correlates with higher testosterone and growth hormone levels, both critical for staving off physical weakness. The consequences extend beyond muscle. When muscle mass declines, your metabolism slows, blood sugar regulation weakens, and bone density drops, making your frame more fragile. Even your heart feels the strain. Sexual inactivity quietly raises the risk of hospitalization, mobility loss, and dependency. I've seen men who once played tennis or hiked with their grandkids lose that spark not just from age, but from a body no longer receiving the biological signals intimacy provides. When sexual expression stops, the body shifts into a conservation mode, declining rather than maintaining. Masturbation, far from being shameful, is a natural tool for stimulating hormones without pills or side effects. It's self-care grounded in biology. If you're feeling weaker, if stairs seem steeper, or if your arms and legs are shrinking despite eating well, consider whether your sexual health might be part of the equation. Have you noticed a drop in strength or energy lately? Could changes in your intimacy habits be playing a role? These are questions worth asking yourself. Now, let's explore how sexual inactivity affects more than just your physical strength. It disrupts your body's internal repair system. Take Robert, a 79-year-old patient, sharp and thoughtful, who confessed during a visit, "I feel like I'm slipping away." For months, he hadn't slept through the night. His mood swung unpredictably. Some days he was on edge, others he felt flat. He lacked drive and focus, describing a fog over his thoughts. This wasn't dementia or memory loss. After a full workup, the truth emerged. Robert and his wife had stopped all sexual intimacy 3 years prior, and he'd ceased solo activity as well. His hormone panel revealed deeply suppressed testosterone, elevated cortisol, the stress hormone, and irregular neurotransmitter patterns affecting mood and sleep. This is more common than you might think. Many assume sexual activity is something you outgrow, but your biology disagrees. Sexual stimulation, including masturbation, triggers a cascade of neurochemicals. Oxytocin calms the nervous system and fosters emotional connection. Dopamine boosts motivation. Serotonin stabilizes mood and sleep. Endorphins combat pain and emotional strain. Without these, your body's chemistry falters. For Robert, sleepless nights led to skyrocketing cortisol, which weakened his immune system, caused silent inflammation, and slowed recovery from daily tasks. Low dopamine dulled his motivation, making tasks feel like chores. Low oxytocin weakened his emotional bonds, fostering loneliness and anxiety. This isn't just about feeling off, it's a chain reaction that increases risks of depression, early cognitive decline, and faster biological aging. Seniors who remain sexually inactive often become less mobile, more isolated, and increasingly dependent. Contrast this with Sarah, a 74-year-old widow who came to me with chronic fatigue and low mood. She hadn't engaged in any sexual activity for nearly a decade. After a compassionate conversation, she began exploring self-pleasure. Within months, her sleep improved, her thoughts felt lighter, and her hormone profile showed significant improvement. She even reduced her antidepressant dosage under supervision. This wasn't a miracle, it was biology responding to stimulation. The myth that sexual activity is unnecessary or shameful in older age is pervasive but wrong. Regular sexual stimulation, even solo, is a natural tool for maintaining hormonal balance and emotional well-being. Avoiding this topic delays healing and can shave years off your life, both physically and emotionally. Beyond muscles and mood, sexual inactivity has a profound impact on your heart. James, a 68-year-old retired executive, suffered a heart attack 6 months before seeing me. His blood pressure had spiked, and his arteries had stiffened compared to a year earlier. What changed? After struggling with erectile dysfunction, he'd stopped all sexual activity, both partnered and solo, out of embarrassment. He thought doing nothing was safer, but it wasn't. Sexual activity, including masturbation, supports your cardiovascular system by raising heart rate, dilating blood vessels, and promoting circulation. It also triggers the release of nitric oxide, a molecule critical for heart health. Nitric oxide relaxes blood vessels, reduces clot risk, and improves oxygen flow. Without it, blood vessels stiffen, circulation weakens, and blood pressure rises. Studies show that sexually inactive men face higher risks of heart disease, stroke, and premature death. For women, the absence of sexual stimulation reduces estrogen production, accelerating cardiovascular aging. Postmenopausal women who remain sexually active maintain better heart function, lower blood pressure, and stronger arterial elasticity. For men, low testosterone from sexual inactivity directly increases cardiovascular risks and can worsen erectile dysfunction, creating a vicious cycle of fear and avoidance. The signs are subtle at first: shortness of breath after a walk, midday fatigue, or difficulty getting out of a chair. These aren't just aging, they're symptoms of a system starved of stimulation. Over time, this leads to lifestyle shifts, declining social invitations, avoiding outings, and shrinking your world. Isolation creeps in, and heart health declines further. Most doctors treat surface symptoms: high blood pressure, poor circulation, but rarely ask about sexual inactivity as a root cause. Yet, regular sexual stimulation can reignite your body's natural support systems. Blood pressure improves, circulation strengthens, and energy rises. Your heart is a muscle that responds to consistent, healthy activity. If fear or shame has kept you inactive, know that it's not too late. Your body still responds, and your heart still wants to work for you. Another consequence of sexual inactivity is chronic, escalating pain. Eleanor, an 81-year-old retired nurse, came to me in tears. Her arthritis medication had stopped working, and she hurt all over. Sleep was fragmented, and fatigue was constant. She'd shut down sexually after her husband's passing 5 years earlier, and her pain had worsened shortly after. This isn't coincidence. Sexual activity, including self-pleasure, triggers the release of endorphins, oxytocin, and other natural opioids that block pain signals and calm the nervous system. These compounds travel the same neurological pathways as pain medications, but without side effects or dependence. When you stop, your body loses this protection, pain sensitivity rises, and medications often fall short.